My name is Ali Hussainy. I grew up in Southern California and now operate one of the largest sport fishing websites in the world.
Just another day at the office?
My office, not yours.
I'm Rush Maltz.
Gotcha, what you seeing?
Florida Keys native and career fishing guide for the past 20 years.
Fish, when I come out to California, you can let me catch all the 300-pound tuna.
Our passion is our profession, and we know there's more to fishing than just a catch.
There's a good mark right there. That's what I like to see.
He's not superstitious because that's bad luck. That's the one!
We explore the people, places, and species that make up the culture of fishing.
There's probably a dozen cities in the fishing community that all call themselves Tuna Town or label themselves as the billfish capital of the world. Guatemala, where we were sitting, without question, without peer, is the 12-month out of the year billfish capital of the world, period.
Been a while since I've seen one of these.
The ultimate tackle bag, buddy.
So what'd you bring?
I got a little bit of everything for you here, big boy.
I've been coming here to Guatemala since the early 90s. One thing Guatemala doesn't do is disappoint.
This is my 4th trip here, and I can't wait for my 5th. Every trip always has a special twist. Look who it is.
Oh, nice of you to join us this morning, sir.
In the case of this trip, we didn't know there was a grouper fishery here.
Apparently you guys want a grouper fish now, I hear.
Hey, you need fish, we're here to kill them.
So we got a restaurant, we need to feed people.
Anything else around dodos, tuna, that kind of stuff?
They caught some tunas yesterday, so we'll be looking at that.
I remember when I first came down here 25 years ago, they were catching some big grade tunas, those 200-pounders and stuff.
What's the story with the boats?
We added a 48-foot GNS called the Hooker.
You know, the biggest benefit to guys that love to fish who don't have the resources or the time or the opportunity to come discover a place like this is Dave's done all the hard work for you. Kind of a famous boat, right?
Kind
A lot of history there.
Famous. 87 IGFA world records.
There's an awesome lodge here that'll take care of your every need. It's a very easy to get to destination, even in times like we're having with COVID right now. And he's assembled a fleet of some of the baddest boats really to ever grace the Pacific or the Atlantic.
Been run by some badass captains.
And now you.
And now me.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes now.
I can't think of another fleet across the world that I've seen personally that is quite like Dave's fleet of boats.
We got that boat. Hopefully we're going to start the Costa Rica deal up. So we'll be fat fishing with that boat down. And
that's summertime, right?
Yeah. So the boat goes back in May. It's covering for my boat now, the one that I normally run, the Poco Loco.
You know, the same way Dave made Guatemala accessible to the general public, he wants to start a little operation in Costa Rica, chase those blue marlin.
How many bites a day?
So good days, man, 30 bites a day.
I want to see that.
So May 15th, we're going to offer the fad fishing trips out of Capos, Costa Rica. Let's go fishing.
It's funny because guys who fish inshore or guys that aren't offshore guys, the first thing they all say is, I hate trolling. Do I like to catch 30 sailfish in a day, see multiple bites, watch fish go crazy, do backflips, come up in the spread, eat a live bait, have plenty of opportunity to screw up for rush? You know, it's great. That fish wasn't hungry.
That's the definition of Sancocho. A day of fishing here in Guatemala with Dave and his crew basically looks like your typical trolling spread.
Tight.
Got him?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
Off.
Through when he jumped.
Excellent local knowledge.
Big teasers, a lot of them. You could either raise them, you know, having traditional bites in the riggers and all that stuff. A lot of times they're coming up on the teasers right behind the boat and you're dropping a bait back to them. Dropped it.
Did you see it? Hi.
Yeah.
No?
You hear, you know, raises, bites, and releases. There's a reason they keep 3 scores. 0 for 4.
I don't know how you plan on making a TV show, dude.
It's gonna be tough. You might raise 10, not get a bite, which we struggle with some of that, you know, on this trip. Whatever the moon phase was, the water temp, whatever, they weren't aggressive. So, you know, for me and Rush, that actually is more fun than when they're just killing themselves, jumping on the hook. You actually have a bigger part to play in trying to hook one of these fish.
There he is.
Right there, right there.
Now stay on.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make that work for you.
Nice work.
I love that bite up on the teaser. Hey, you better get on him quick.
How cool is that little rod and reel?
It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
You know, one of the things I always find myself struggling with when I first get down here, maybe my first day or so, just getting a feel for the bite, getting a feel for how this whole operation works. How cool is that bite though? Just, you see him up on
right
the teaser.
there on the back, so cool.
You know, it's not something I do day in and day out. I'm not sitting there watching the spread. I'm not sitting there dropping back the fish on a daily basis. That's not what I do. It's different for me. On the board. Dark they
That
are.
is a giant sail, man. Yours come up, they look like little needles.
Oh yeah. You see something like that in the Keys and you're talking world record.
Yeah.
It's a start. You gotta start somewhere.
I'd like to start with one.
Local Knowledge is brought to you by Mercury, Go Boldly, Penn, Let the Battle Begin, Yeti, Built for the Wild, Seakeeper, once you feel it, you'll never boat without it, Bubba, the ultimate lifestyle, Seagar, the inventor and perfecter of fluorocarbon fishing lines, Nomad Design, crafted by experience, and by bdoutdoors.com.
He got me. Is there another pitch? Probably the most addictive part of fishing here is the chaos.
Ollie, did you miss that fish?
Yep.
100%.
He's on the left rigger, guys. Left rigger.
There's a lot of it, you know? You might sit there for a half hour sometimes without a bite. Tight. This is more like it, huh, Rutchie?
Doubled up. Doubled up.
I straight up donkeyed that other bite.
Oh, that fish was so hot.
I tapped the handle and didn't realize it, and I put it in gear. For me, I love feeling that bite, setting that fish up, and feeling the line come tight, and then just watching that fish explode. Rush, this one ain't coming easy.
Not nearly as big as my first one though.
Really?
That was a donkey.
This one's a donkey. He's not even thinking about coming. Look, still pulling string.
Go to full.
Yeah.
There goes the release.
While this place is obviously known for their sailfish, I mean, there's no question there is a bigger year-round concentration of sailfish here than there is anywhere else in the world, or we would have found them by now, right?
You got a feisty one there, huh, buddy?
Just doesn't want to quit.
All right, let's go get some tunas.
Let's go.
Tuna, tuna, tuna.
But the thing that doesn't get nearly as much attention is when you're in a billfish zone, you're also in a dorado zone. You're also in, you know, a marlin zone. You're also going to be where the tuna are at.
Oh, there you go, right rigger. That's a good one.
That didn't take long.
What I like about you, Dave, you got all the tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah.
I just like your mustache.
What you got there, buddy? Something you're a little more familiar with?
Feels like Charlie Tuna. Yeah, this guy ain't that long, babe.
No shortage of life.
Leader. And on any given day, you might catch, you know, a really legit tuna, a 60, 80, 100. They've even had a couple that were right at 200 this year.
Nice one. Little butterball.
Me or the fish?
No, you're a big butterball.
Thank you.
Oh.
Got him?
Not a bad fish.
Look at there.
Hey, that's not a small one.
Not a
Not
bad
at
one.
all.
No, he works. Right on, Dave.
Little break in the action.
Yeah.
Guess what's for lunch tomorrow?
No, I'm happy about that. You like a poke bowl, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Guess what's for dinner tonight?
You'll never hear me complain about fresh pokey.
Oh.
For local knowledge, Casa Vieja has basically been a staple for us. Is it a tuna or a sailfish?
The sailfish.
It's
It's a big one. Look at him jump.
We always know we're going to get a great show here. The accommodations are great, and this is a spot we want to basically come at least every other year.
I'm good.
Nice.
If you're coming to Casa Vieja, you could expect to get multiple shots at sailfish in a day.
Short teaser.
Left short. I saw his sail. There he is, right there.
Oh, double header.
It could be a dozen in a day. It could be 20 in a day. It could be 100 shots in a day.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Dave.
Oh boy.
Don't mess this up.
Got to see how it's done.
Oh, look at
the
him
other
throw.
And basically what you're waiting to see is that little baseball bat come up and start, or that shadow, you know, that traditional billfish bite. That little baseball bat's coming up and it's beating at the teaser or it's beating at one of the baits.
We got a yumper.
That's when the chaos starts. It could be one fish, it could be 4 or 5 fish. Everything can get covered up. And when you find them, you usually find them in good numbers.
We got another sail here.
Would you like to, we got to get my lure back, by the way.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that.
No, I don't want to lose that. That's a good tuna lure.
The sheer numbers just amaze me. I mean, how many fish you guys see in a day, in a year, and I know you keep a perfect tally of it.
Yeah.
What's been your best year?
I want to say 5 years ago, I think we released 24,000 in a year.
24,000 billfish in 1 year.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep saying the same thing, but it's really true. This is a special place.
All right.
Nice
Nice going there,
work,
Rushi. Got him on a
Very
tuna
nice.
lure. Huh?
Job, Dave.
Got him on a tuna lure.
That's a nice way to end the day right there.
There you go, buddy. Little double header.
Tuna, sailfish. Time for some
Good haul.
guacamole.
All right.
For those that don't know, the Hooker was part of a mothership program that traveled the globe.
Where was this boat built, Dave?
This boat
Originally.
Destin, Florida.
Destin, Florida.
Had a really cool name. The mothership was called the Madam, and the game boat was called the Hooker.
This boat was built with a plan in mind, right? They were going to take this boat, put it on the back of that mothership, the Madam, and travel the world.
And around the planet.
And what's the deal? I've heard stories about this. I mean, hundreds of world records. Or...
Yeah. God, I mean, this boat with the other guys running it before, they have 87 IGFA world records. I think 40 some of them still stand. Probably more than that, I think.
It was owned by a guy in Texas who, from my understanding, was not even a super wealthy dude. He was just a guy that loved to fish and travel, and he put together a charter program that traveled the world, helped support his addiction, and share his love of the ocean with other people.
And so how they would travel around the world, they had a cradle. The Hooker would get put inside this cradle, and then the cradle would get lifted, hoisted up onto the back of the Madam. And that's how they were able to tow that boat around and basically move it around the world. These guys fished in places that, you know, people fish now, but it wasn't even heard of back then.
So where is this thing fished?
Everywhere, man.
Everywhere, right? Like Tahiti and all that stuff?
Australia, they went to Australia, they did all of Central America, they did all the Caribbean, they did all of the Cape Verde Islands, and Madeira, the boat went on that side.
Pretty much everywhere you dream of fishing.
Everywhere you dream of fishing, this
has
boat's
been there.
These guys just wanted to be out on the water 365 days a year, setting world records, fishing every destination, not just around their circuit, but around the entire world.
Actual charter
It was an
operation.
actual charter operation, yeah.
So you could charter the mothership and this boat and go anywhere in the world
Anywhere
and
you want.
fish.
Yep. It was a
pretty
full-blown
cool.
charter operation. And Skip ran it for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. He ran the operation, or I think 7 years. Then another guy, Trevor Cockrell, took over the operation and kept on going with it. Captain Skip Smith called me up and said, hey, Dave, you know, I'm looking to sell the boat. And like I told him, I said, Skip, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, but I want it. Let me figure out how to pull this off.
Franz, what are we doing here?
We're trying to catch some bait. We're gonna check this is a ladder of a merchant ship, so there's always bait around here.
It's a wreck.
It's a wreck, yeah.
This time we shot for the fences one day and Our buddy Franz, who Dave introduced us to, showed us some pictures of some of these nice grouper he'd been catching.
It's we call it quinoas. I don't know, that's skipjacks maybe?
I see grouper, I'm there. I love catching grouper. And it's not something that the lodge offers, but it's just a cool way to spend a day.
Franz, what do you got, dude? That doesn't look like bait.
Snook!
Wow,
Snook.
that's rad. Do you have snook here, Captain Dave?
Hey, got it somewhere there.
Oh, he's barely hooked.
Hey, a 30 la libra. 30 la libra.
That's the great thing about bottom fishing, isn't it? You never know what you're gonna pull up.
And today, we've got a little bit different mission that doesn't involve sailfish. Dave's told us that he's got a line on some grouper and he wants some fresh fish for the kitchen.
Local knowledge is brought to you by CV Boats. Lead the way. Costa. See what's out there. Aftco. Any fish, any water. JL Audio. How we play. Casa Vieja Lodge. Experience 5-star angling in tropical Guatemala. Taco Marine. Troll the Edge. Sat Fish. The science of being lucky. And by the Saltwater Angler Key West.
What's it feel like, Franz?
7, 8 pounds.
Chupacabra?
What?
A chupacabra?
A chupacabra.
Take and drag, huh? Nice. We only brought you for the spots, not to catch all the fish, man. Come on.
Feel like a good one?
Looks
7,
like
8 pounds.
70 only?
No.
Now, will they start to float as they come up?
Yeah, the bladder gets blown up, so you gotta surface them. It basically, you have to, the bite is good for the first 30 feet. After that,
Yeah.
it's kind of coming up.
Typical bottom fishing, right?
Once the bladder pops up, they're done.
Especially in deep water.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Nice.
Oh, look at
Oh, cabria!
that. Cabria.
You know, over the years, we've done so many different trips here. Every one is a little bit different. You know, our first trip here was probably the best sail fishing we've ever seen. We hit that right on the head. And I mean, halfway through day one, we couldn't pull on another sailfish.
Looks like a mystic with spots.
That's the best eating one, guys.
Oh, really?
Oh, by far.
You know, our second trip here was really memorable because we gave away a trip through BD Outdoors and a kid named Cole Casino won it, who's still a friend of mine today. And he's also, you know, a professional captain.
Look at that. That is cool.
Yeah.
That's a big garilla, bro.
Cool. It almost looks like the grouper we were catching down in the Sea of Cortez.
Similar, very similar. The last trip we did here was a couple years ago, and we had really solid sail fishing, but we also got to catch some mahis that were huge.
For the past, I've been part of it for the past 20 years here. I mean, I love sail fishing, but I love taco fishing also. I mean, I love to eat what I catch, so.
There's something about bottom fishing. It's fun, especially if you're sail fishing every day. It's nice to mix it up a little bit.
We've caught groupers here now. Now we've heard that there's rooster fish around too, so kind of got our eyes set on something for the next trip here.
Dave needed a little bit of food for the lodge, and you were the man for the job.
You know, just shy of quitting your job and leaving everything behind and traveling the world, this place is the experience you're looking for.
There he goes, all over it.
Get him. Watch the other teaser.
He's in the teaser.
Wind in the other teaser.
The world-class fishing, the accommodation, this is the spot. You know, I've been here 3 times now in the past few years, and there's no other place I could think of that I have this kind of experience.
Yeah. He's going crazy.
Going ballistic, huh?
That's awesome. Look at that.
The goal for the lodge was always to bring, you know, people down to fish and, you know, introduce them all to bill fishing. You know, the bill fishery here is just, it's phenomenal here.
Still got him in it, looks like.
No, he's pretty close.
Oh boy.
Right there. Oh, sweet.
Look at that.
That's awesome. You know, while we fished on the hooker here, it was really up here just to kind of shake it down and get it into the program and get what needs to be done with it before the blue marlin season starts down in Costa Rica.
It's time for him to expand. Dave's always looking for new places to put boats and different species, different fisheries.
Oh, so cool, that free swimmer right underneath them.
So awesome. So, and that, like I was saying, that's the perfect fight. Light gear, lots of jumps, 10 minutes, let them go, on to the next.
And plenty of numbers.
We're excited for 2021 because we're going to be able to offer, you know, different experiences. We're going to offer Capos, Costa Rica with the hooker down there, and we're going to also offer Key West with the 35 contenders. So we'll be able to give you a little bit of more variety of species of fish to catch. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And you know, we always have Guatemala, which is the, you know, I guess the mothership of the operation. So